Hello and welcome to the Reflection Show. I am Martha in Spice. We are still in the month of love. We've looked at what love is, we've looked at temperament, and today we are about to look at how or when to actually share certain secrets in relationships to your partner or even in marriage. Sometimes how and when you share a particular secret can either make or unmake your marriage or relationship. There should be a particular way you should share your secret before you start saying, oh, I've had 2 boyfriends, I've had this number of boyfriends, and that alone can take your partner away. I am Martha in Spice. Let's go for a break. When we are back, we delve straight into the conversation. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It's still the Reflection Show with me, Martha and Spice. This month has been a month of us helping ourselves to understand the journey of relationships and marriage. A lot of times we take some of these things for granted. Meanwhile, they are the very most important parts of our lives. Every one of us is in one relationship or the other. Some came naturally, some we put ourselves into them. Today I'll be speaking with Reverend O.B. Bennett. He's a pastor, and LP Bessie Ewenam or Dame Boafo. She's also a pastor. By the way, they're a couple. So I'll be getting a bit personal. Sometimes I like interviewing couples because it gives us the practical experiences on how we can learn from them. Thank you very much for joining me. It's really, really a pleasure to have you both in my studio. Yes, so first of all, let's get to understand even secrets. What do we even turn as secrets? Is it something we don't want to share, or what at all? What are secrets all about? Let me start with you, Reverend.
Hey. Secrets.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, am I going straight to the point?
Yes. Straight to the point.
So, secrets basically, I believe, are things that you want it to remain untold.
Okay.
And once you want something, an information untold, it then becomes a secret. And so once you reveal an information, it no more becomes a secret. And so there may be reasons that hold, or reasons why you don't want that particular information to either leak out or come out. And so depending on what you want, you choose to make something a secret or not a secret. Yeah, so basically, it's just a choice.
Okay.
So whatever you decide not to talk about becomes a secret. As long as nobody gets to know about it, it becomes a secret.
Yeah. LP.
Yes.
Does everyone has a secret or have a secret?
For me, I think everyone has. You know, when Pastor was talking, he said it's something that you don't want it untold, probably at a later time. But for me, I really think everybody has a secret, because there's, at any point in time, there could be something you don't want to say it at that particular time. So everybody has a secret.
So at what point, maybe in a relationship, I've met a guy, or someone has met a lady, we like each other, and at what point do you start sharing certain secrets to your partner?
Okay, so this thing is a very delicate issue, right?
Okay.
So I think people should take their time to know the person who they intend getting married to for some time before letting out certain secrets, in quotes. Reason being that you may not even know the temperament of the person, whether the person is able to keep secrets or not, how the person will react towards the secret or not. So once you don't know all these things, you take your time, and you can even create a form of a puzzle, like you tell a secret or something that doesn't really exist. It wasn't actually a secret. It's somebody's thing you heard, and then you reframe it and release it to your partner to check his temperament.
How would they act in certain situations?
The reaction towards what you just told them. So when you see the way they behave towards what the secret you told them, then it gives you an idea of how that person accept or works with a secret you will tell him or her in future. And so I think people have to take it slow, one day at a time, get to observe a lot before telling secrets. These things can either ruin or probably make a beautiful relationship, which you sort to want to have with a person. So
I think one thing people usually are quick to hear are your past relationships. That is one of the commonest secrets or issues everybody wants to hear. At what point do you have to tell your partner? I don't even know why you should even tell your partner the number of relationships you've even had. If it's just relationships, fine. But someone even wants to know whether you are even a virgin or not.
Oh, goodness.
Then someone even wants to know if you're not a virgin, how many people have you slept with? And if you've ever been pregnant before, and if you have ever had an abortion. But nobody actually asks the man if you have ever even gotten a girl pregnant. And how did you handle it? Did she give birth? Did you ask her to abort? And how was it? So in a situation like that, when your partner wants to know your past relationships, how do you handle it?
Okay, so for me, I think, like Pastor said, I really took my time to actually tell him about past relationships. So it wasn't that quick. I think, you need to test things. You need to test. And if you know the person's temperament, then you can release maybe one after the other, depending on who you are going out with. So there's not like a one kind of way approach. You need to know who you are partnering with. That's when you will tell them. So for like me, it wasn't that, oh, I went out with 4 guys at a point. I say, hey, I went out with him before. Then with time, it took me time before I said, oh, I went out with 3 guys before I met you. I'm not sure he asked all the nitty-gritties, but definitely people do ask the nitty-gritties, like, were you pregnant before, all those sorts of things. With time, as you know the person, it will surely come out. Secrets, there's nothing that can never be kept. With time, it will definitely come out, unless you die before your time. Yes, so people say that if you go to the graveside, there are lots of secrets at the graveside. So unless you die with it, but with time, as you live, it will definitely come out. So you just need to know who you are going out with. And then with time, do the release, depending on who it is. If you feel that the person can take so much, feel free and let it out. Because I know that sometimes that some secrets actually worry you, like personally. So you need someone to let it out. So if you find out that your boyfriend or whoever you were going out with seems to be a ready-go person, and you feel that you can let the person know all these so that it would help you free your heart, then I think you can also do that. But it all needs a test. Let's bear in mind. Yes.
Test the waters. Pastor, from the male perspective, what are some of the questions you use and you want your partner to tell you all? I mean, some of the questions you'd want to ask. So if a young woman is watching us right now, she's dating somebody, what are some of the expectant things she should respect? Or she should even, sometimes don't even wait for them to ask. For transparency's sake, you can even give them the answers before they ask. What should we know?
Yes, people, like you said, so when it comes to these things, you get a lot of men becoming a little more biased than women. And truth be told, I mean, yes, the man would like to know everything that has to do with the woman, but the woman doesn't get to know everything that happens to the man. You know, it's like, oh, Charlie, you know, but it's like once it's the woman, she must tell everything. She must let everything out of the bag. Everything must just come out. And with the issues of getting to know whether somebody aborted the pregnancy or not, unless you, the lady, knows that probably as a result of the abortion you underwent, it gave you a certain medical condition. Until then, I think you have to be very circumspect in your approach in releasing the cat out of the bag. If not, probably it can go a long way to hurt the relationship. Like, oh yes, it can. You can go
Especially
and
if
belong
you
with
even
the
get
relationship.
married and even the problem is from the man, he will feel that since you had the abortion,
So you see,
you are the problem
men
one.
easily refer to issues.
Yeah.
Men.
I thought women did.
Whoa.
No.
My goodness.
Men refer to issues.
Simple
Yes.
cry.
I'm learning.
Yes.
Simple cry.
Yes.
Simple. Only there are men who can talk straight up, like myself, but there are other guys too who keep quiet. Those ones they can kill you easily. So then you have to be very careful. You have to come out and tell this is what I feel. I didn't like this. But you see, probably men must learn how to let things out and let it go. It's not about letting out and holding on to it. Then it hurts the relationship. It's like there's always this negative energy holding down the relationship. It's not making it progress. But if you can let it out and let it go, then it creates a certain atmosphere for growth in a relationship. Nobody can be 100% perfect, of course. So once somebody releases a secret one way or the other to you, you shouldn't use it too much unless the consequence is dire. Like I said, if some of them brings up medical conditions, then it's a problem. That needs to be talked about. You don't say, oh, don't you let it go. You get it. So you have to look at it and all that. There are a lot of men too who have become sexually have low sperm count, all sort of sexual issues because of incessant sexual activities and gonorrhea. But that is not talked about. Yes. So you see that after marriage, they don't get to even give birth, have low sperm counts, and able to perform well.
And they won't say because I had numerous girlfriends, I was promiscuous.
Exactly.
But once the woman even have slept with 2-3 guys, she sees as someone who has been promiscuous. No, but that thing is so biased. You see guys who've slept with over 20-30 girls, but it seems normal.
Yes, so.
Yes, I think.
Pastor, why is that normal? But you see a girl who just had probably 2-3 guys, and he's like, so you slept with, and you see, the man is actually imagining,
picturing
how everything. And it's like, my goodness, you've had even up to 10-15. So why are you feeling that I should be adding?
That's how it's supposed to be now. That's how it is. You also came to meet it. And so tradition goes on. Tradition goes on.
So who changes?
We don't want to talk about our own now.
Today I want you to talk about it. LP. So now let's look at some of the questions that women would expect. We would want to ask our men. What are some of the things that as a woman you should ask the person you hope to get married to?
Okay. So because you said you wanted a personal thing, I think one of the things I asked, because I wasn't in that line of the sex. So I think I asked him, so has he had sex before? It was very key for me. And then he told me about how he was raped and all those sorts of things. And in my mind, I was like, hey, no, he preaches with it. So for me, it's okay about it here, it's okay. I said, hey. Then after the rape, how that was before the pastoral thing, and how he conquered some ladies. I was saying in my mind, hey, so how can I?
He has now repented. Christ has saved. Should the mafia you?
So I really wanted to know those things so that I would know how I would also come up to his game. Is it to go and also learn a lot of styles, because this is someone who is a pro. And I'm coming in not being a pro. So those are some of the things that probably people who are a bit naive in quotes like me would want to know. And then I think for women, we are quite particular about who their mothers are.
Mother-in-laws.
But you see, that perception she had is very, very key. Because some ladies will not have that kind of perception. The reason behind wanting to know the number of females that man has gone to bed with. Another lady will take it in a negative way. And want to drag issues with it and create a whole lot of fuss. I
feel like, you're a womanizer. I'm not coming near you.
So the mentality behind it is quite key.
Great.
Yes. So, like at that juncture, we need to be open and learn out of people's secrets, not to kind of ridicule them or those sorts of things. Yes. So coming back, so and I wanted to know about the mother. He liked talking about the mother. So for me, I wanted to really know who the mother was and who are the siblings. I also really wanted, because of the kind of home I'm coming from, what has been his educational background, what sort of things has he been able to acquire for himself. It's just because of the background. So people's personal environmental issues really help in posing the kind of questions they want to know from their partners. So for me, I think those were some of the things that I really wanted to know. Some people too want to know, where does he work? Those things. It wasn't a key thing for me though. Like, where does he work? Does he have a lot of money? Those sorts of things. They were not key to me, but some people would really take it, I mean, on the higher level. So, but things like that, it's okay for you to know, because you are kind of could work or could not work, venturing into an unknown situation. So things that would help you kind of learn and learn, relearn, and live with the person is very key that you ask. And I mean, nothing is stupid in quotes for you to ask. Feel free and ask all the dummy questions. I always say that, see, I have a book in me called what? Asking the most dummy questions to a man that I want to marry. You can see me as stupid or anything, but I really want to know.
You must even ask the same questions several times at several places, just to know the consistency of the answers.
Exactly. And I think I did that as well. So because I really wanted to know the consistency.
Didn't you feel some of the questions she was asking, yes, some of them I feel like, why are you asking? Or even she has asked them multiple times. How did you feel with such questions?
Me, the first point, I will blast you small. So then, I will blast you small, but eventually, if it wasn't important to her, she wouldn't ask you. I mean, she gets very well. Once it's important to her and she asks you, you need to deliver. You have to tell her what it is. So at the point, I didn't make a choice. You know,
and it becomes annoying because you feel like, about you have been answering this question. Why?
Exactly.
But you actually don't know why she persistently asks you the same question over and over. And so then, yes, after just
few times,
have to just lay it out and say, okay, repeat yourself again until at the point she will stop asking, don't ask again.
Yeah, she will stop
asking. So at that point, say hallelujah. It's over now.
Did you know you were going to be a pastor?
Oh yes.
Okay. And did you tell her about it?
That was a secret that blew me. Because
did he have some signs and symptoms of?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I knew he was.
Didn't catch it fast.
Yes, I knew he was audacious. I mean, you could see. I mean, if you see people who are prefe, I mean, you can see. Yes, after all his bad boys time. I mean, like when I met him, you could see the crave kind of thing in him. So I knew, and I think I kept asking myself that, am I sure this guy, he's not a pastor? But I think it was one question that I dragged my feet to ask him. Yes, that was one question that I dragged my feet to ask him. Personally, I didn't want to marry a pastor because, and he knew about it. So
then that's why he didn't tell you. There was a leading of the Holy Spirit.
You will leave now. You see, the whole thing is this. For some strange reason, I didn't want to disclose that spiritual part of me to her. For what reason, I can't tell to today. You see the whole thing? And you see, I've been this crave from birth.
Okay.
Till
but you backslided small.
To that point where
God said, "You are mine.
Come
back.
You cannot be a Enoch.
Yeah.
You will fall and rise.
Yeah.
So at the fall.
So on the falling perspective, let's go for a break. We'll be right back.
Books by Pastor A.L. Fant. They are inspired by the Holy Spirit, simple to comprehend, relevant in application, and so lovely to read. Grab copies like Dynamics of Kingdom Influence, Dynamics of Ministry, Mark is King for Church Workers, Money Matters, and she calls herself a woman. This marriage must work. No more curses. Loaded mouth. Secrets of Kingdom Dominion. The exploits of service. things fall apart. Church without bleeding pulpit. Singles mingle and many more.
Welcome back here. We are still trying to help ourselves understand some of the secrets we can share in relationships and maybe how our partners can react to that and all of that. Yeah, so let me come back to you straight up. Now, on the journey, let me say from career, maybe she knew your secular career perspective, not into ministry. And did you also know that you'd want to be a pastor one day?
For me,
But you I don't know, you didn't want to marry a pastor, but you're a pastor.
no, I didn't want to marry a pastor. So this pastoral way was because now I had to be kind of hold the fort if he's not around.
Okay.
So I needed to learn, because definitely if you have some kind of people in your church, you can't come and use the basic things and things. People needed to grow as well. So that was where it came. And he was actually my inspiration to enter into the pastoral.
So he became a pastor before you?
Yes, he was a pastor.
Okay.
He was a pastor before he married me.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, like we were saying, the time I even knew he was a pastor, we had circulated our wedding.
Wait. So you had gone through the counseling and everything. It was when your invitation cards were out for your wedding. That's when you got to know your husband is a pastor.
Yes, now.
So that was the so
How did you feel? I think it was a mixed feeling. One moment you are happy, one moment you are like, oh my goodness, yeah.
Exactly. So I was
same time.
happy because I was entering into a home that I knew that, okay,
God was going to
be there. But I was disappointed because I felt I didn't want to tell my mother's kind of, because my dad is a pastor. I knew how they lived. So, you know, with the absence of the father most of the times, no, I didn't want it. So it was that week, and not a week, so a month. Then now I started to make calls quickly to all his friends, all his sons, because he would say that, oh, this is my son. And I knew that talking is a pastoral talk. So now I'll call them behind the scene. So how is he? How is his pastoral life?
Trying to investigate.
Trying to know, yes, trying to investigate. Then at a point, someone will say, I gave up. And then I said, yeah, let's go. I mean, this is it. I knew I would marry a pastor. That I knew, but that humane thing didn't want me to also marry a pastor because of the physical things that I saw. So
okay, that's
that was
nice.
how it was.
When I was growing up, I wanted to marry a pastor, but I've changed my mind. No, I don't want. I've changed my mind.
Like you met a broke pastor.
No, not. Just like she's saying, I'm busy. I have my own ministry going on myself for me. A pastor, Charlie will take care of the kids. No, but most importantly, I think that if it's a pastor, maybe he shouldn't have a church.
Okay.
Maybe because church members are not. It's stressful. And that whole Osafumami thing and then the mommy thing, I think that I'm not cut out for that thing. Exactly. Yeah. But it doesn't mean I don't want to marry a man who fears God or a man in ministry. I actually want a man in ministry, but a pastor who has his church every day and he'll use all his money, go and take care of members. There's no money in the house. He can't take care of members because he's broke. Members will insult him that he has left them and all of that. And unless
I'm a boy, power say.
I normally call him Father Christmas because I think there are times that, I mean, in our low moments we didn't have, but we had to sacrifice for church members, and I would call him Father Christmas. I'll be in the kitchen and talking. Who even sent me to marry this man? You know, all those sorts of things. But they are all part of the whole secret thing, sharing it, and then you realize that if you are able to share the secret, if it's not used against you, at a point you thank yourself that you let it out. At a point, you people will be laughing over it. Like now, we always laugh. But you, how did you keep that thing? And you so like a month. And someone like my dad asked me before, and my aunts with whom I lived with asked me before, is he a pastor?
So the atmosphere was
you know, because when he comes home, I mean, my aunt could call him to come and live in the house because she's traveling. And hey, the prayers that we'll pray. Hey, me, I want some.
You want to go that for dinner? Please, but sometimes it's too much. Sometimes it's too much. If you are dating, if you're pastor doesn't mean that everything should be prayer. Take us out more.
But he's romantic.
He's romantic. Okay. There's this pastor who tried to steal a friend of mine. I call her Daughter of Zion. And this guy actually sends her scriptures every morning, calls her in the afternoon, so, oh, Daughter of Zion, how are you? Like you are just he's everyone. The recent one he sent her, she sent it to me that she was quoting Habakkuk 2 verse 2 to 3. Everything. I'm like, Charlie, brother, relax. Like, what are you? Oh, so sometimes I think before we wrap up, that you have to share some tips to our brothers in Christ. We understand that you are spiritual. We understand that you can read the Bible and quote the Bible. But sometimes take us out. It's Valentine's Day. What do? Don't come and quote, for God so loved the world, so I also love you. Please love me too. So yes, about secrets and all that. What is that? Of course, you mentioned that you wish he would have told you, but did it really change a lot? Maybe, do you think if he had told you earlier, you'd have left the relationship?
I think so.
You would have left.
I think I would have left because I left someone based on that.
Because then how did he feel when he now said, "I'm going to now marry a pastor"?
So, well, he got married before me, so that became a bit better. But I actually. He wasn't even a pastor. I could just see the everyday church and send you messages with all these scriptures and things. He wasn't like that. Frankly, he was on the other side. How you, darling, quote all the sunshine things. He was quite romantic, you know. So I mean, at a point I could say, okay, maybe he's just crave on your pastor. But you know,
so you didn't like the tag pastor.
Maybe
I think so. You didn't like a Christian.
Can I shock you?
Yeah.
To introduce myself as a pastor to my church, Action Chapel, she said, no. Don't tell them you're a pastor.
Why?
I'm telling you. Yes. That's how bad it was.
So after marriage,
then it's just a tag you didn't
like. So maybe it's just a tag, like you are right.
See, at this point, let me check you something. See, I don't blame her. It's because of what some of them see in their father's home.
Yeah.
Most pastors don't do anything to support their wives at home. They cross their legs, read newspapers, do all sort of stuff, and they don't help.
That's true.
So it's like the woman carries every single burden.
And because it's like he's a man of God, you have to see your husband as a pastor all the time. But I think there should be moments where he's your husband.
Yes.
Beyond the man of God. Exactly. And there should be moments that he's the pastor.
So now that is a challenge. It's a huge challenge.
Yeah, because
that needs to be addressed.
You might not really know when he's in his element.
So it's a huge challenge to be addressed. But then, once you get home, you need to change your garments. That's what I do.
That's what he does.
Once we close service, I hang my spiritual garments.
Yeah.
So I now tell her, I'm your husband. I tell the kids, I'm your father.
Yeah.
So then everything changes. So at home, I do what I'm supposed to do. I clean, I mop, I do
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the oil. It increases it better.
Yeah.
I even
Yeah.
flow better.
The oil. Hey.
Oh yes. When I'm mopping, revelations begin to come.
Hey,
from the
That's true.
Please, I need to take some prayers after this.
Because I remember sometimes, I mean, women arise. I was telling you how maybe he'll say, hey, it's a time for the woman. You know, it's just like he's mobbing or he's doing something and then it pops up.
Something
So
will
it's
drop.
not really, and it's true. If we get home, he doesn't do all the God says, those sorts of things. No, he's purely a husband at home and then purely a pastor when we get to pastoral.
Exactly.
If he needs to do his consultations, he takes it out of home to the church. So we don't see all those sort of things. Maybe if you ask our kids, maybe they might say, daddy is a pastor. Maybe they keep hearing him preach, but
they're not
that's,
really.
yes, exactly. So I think that's what most men of God also need to learn.
So a young lady
Yes.
seeing a father not helping the mother,
Yeah.
the mother crying,
Yeah.
complaining about all these things,
Yeah.
would not want her to want to marry a pastor.
Yeah.
So I really get where she's
I think
coming
I've heard women, even pastors' wives, would say that they don't want their daughters to marry pastors.
Yeah.
from. Second reason, when you start ministry, you are broke like something.
Yeah.
Full-time
not.
ministry.
you
Even
won't get
if
anything.
it's not full-time,
Even part-time self,
your salary goes
Your money
straight.
go there.
Yes.
So you'll be broke like something.
And we say people are chopping our money.
Try it and see. Chala!
Ministry.
Don't try it. That is headache. Seriously, it's just headache. So when somebody went to a pastor, I said, welcome. Look, go to school.
Yeah.
Go to school. Be a doctor and a pastor.
Yeah.
Be a lawyer
Yes.
And a pastor.
You want to go to full time? Welcome. It turns from FULL to FOOL. Charlie, it don't be small. So all these secrets
Yeah.
need to be shared.
But I think that is why maybe God led you not to tell her
Yes.
because it would
I
have
don't even know
probably
why I didn't
yes.
share.
That's why I said it's a leading of the
I
Holy
just
Spirit.
didn't know why I didn't
Yeah.
want to share. But there was this restriction on me not to let it out.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because I remember the reason, so like let's just go to the past. So the reason why I didn't want, my dad could send you money. I mean, but he wasn't there, like that physical daddy thing. And I was so close to my dad, but I wasn't seeing
were
him,
missing him most of
you
the
know. And I was like, no, if this is how a pastoral home is, then I don't want. And I could see my mommy take care of us, all those sorts of things. She'll be like, hey, there's no money, go for loan. And I remember at a point I was like, hey, won't panic cry. Me, sure say loan
what's here?
for crab, you know, that kind of thing. And then at a point she passed away. I mean, that was even before we married. So I was now thinking, could it be that she was too burdened? That's why she passed away. Like, so too many questions were actually welled up in me, which I needed to
So
let
we didn't want to
go.
repeat
Exactly.
what's happened. But do
Exactly.
you think that it's so because, excuse me to say, I say this with all humility just for the
Yeah,
interview's
yeah,
sake.
yeah.
Do you think that our fathers who were pastors were not, quote unquote, again, innovative? It's like it was just in the ministry.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would even have time. Some are not farming, some are not doing other
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
But now there are lots of things happening. Men of
Exactly.
God can do even online businesses.
Right.
Men of God can even start a shop and put someone in there.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's innovation or that knowledge? Now we are more knowledgeable. Do you think that that's what is making us a bit better now, seeing how ministries are going? Because now a camera alone in the church is needed. Every
Yeah.
church, every ministry now needs at least a camera.
Yeah.
So money has to go in there.
Martha, this thing called the secret thing, see, the recipient is very important to letting out the secret. It's critical,
Yeah.
because it's not easy to tell a lady, oh, something happened to me and I lost God. I started messing up with ladies. Even as a pastor.
Yeah.
If you don't meet a good one.
How many pastors can be bold enough to tell the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he wants to look prim and proper. Charlie, holy.
Someone will be like, I've never been with any woman.
Charlie.
But meanwhile, they have.
Yeah.
Oh, he's God in person. You get it? Charlie, you see that in, so the member must see him as such. You see, that is the problem.
Yeah.
That is
Wow.
where the problem is. But one thing I admire about her is the fact that after telling the truth, it wasn't to use it against me necessarily, but to other think. I don't know if she was even thinking about her sexuality. Whether she wanted to meet up, so I'm so harsh. People say you could use them against me now.
Yeah.
So
Before you could start cheating because you may feel that, I've had this AA experience. I think that's why sometimes we actually encourage not to have sex before we get married, so that whatever level your partner is, you'll be able to match each
up,
other.
match
But
up.
if you've exceeded the if you exceeded that your partner now comes and she said, no, she doesn't know anything, then that is where cheating sometimes can start from.
like you were saying, so going forward, every young pastor, anybody who wants to be a pastor, should do well to be more innovative. Like you were
More
saying.
innovative.
Very, very innovative. Very
Go to
experienced.
school, yeah.
And you see, we have a shea butter company together. It is my idea, her idea. I wanted to have a microfinance. I had it to require Apple. Apple, by the grace of God, left it for me. Glory to her, dear God. Amen. So after that, she said, no, let's fix this shea butter company. And if I'd listened to her earlier, you see,
You would
so
have had a
would
shea
have been bigger than what we are today. Exactly. So there's this partnership in business. So behind the scenes, we do business. We do business. Her contract she has, it's not for her. It's for the family. If contracts come from the shea butter, it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's for the family.
Yeah.
Baseline policy in the house.
Yeah.
That's
true.
It is
For the
working.
family, yeah.
Yeah.
So once you have people who understand themselves in that manner, it grows the relationship and makes it better.
What is the I don't want to use the word average or advice because it depends on the couple.
Yeah.
Time for courtship to take place before marriage.
Like the duration.
Yeah.
To me, if you 2 years
Yeah.
Like 2 years.
maximum, 2 years. See, we've done research before. I don't know that our research is feasible in today's time, but after 2008, there was research done. We found out that if a guy dates you for 2 years, and that tells you we are moving from dating to relationship or courtship, and it bypasses a year, 2 years, forget about the marriage. So
That's a hard one.
it won't happen.
But it's not usually always the case. Some might have
90%,
challenges like
90%.
financial challenges. Maybe they have to relocate out of school, so they may have to wait a
But the
bit
point is
longer
that
for school.
90%.
Okay.
One go through. You get it? So make hay while the sun shines. Papa, 2 years is enough to know each other. I mean, from the dating stage. But by the way, dating has nothing to do with sex. But dating is now sex. Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead. No, I just laughed. Go ahead.
So
Yes.
dating has nothing to do with sex.
Yeah.
Once the sex comes in, you see the woman begins to be bitter and starts crying when the relationship breaks up.
Yeah.
Once there's no sex, there's no emotional attachment.
Yeah.
Sometimes there
You
is
are good to
emotional
go.
attachment.
When you spend your money on your guy or what?
No, not that.
Oh, but what?
Relax.
You
Pastor.
survive. You survive.
There are times that
Mm.
you break up with someone, you have never even kissed the person,
Yeah.
but probably because of the bond you had with the person, it will take time for you to heal.
Is that so?
Yes,
Okay. It's personal. It's personal. Out of 10, you get 1 over 10. So that's fine.
it's not personal.
No, I'm saying that probably somebody is like that. But out of 10 people, you only one person.
Okay.
Yes. Women are emotional beings.
Yes,
So the sex part.
especially when she doesn't really have a lot of friends, and it's like
Yeah.
the relationship was just
It's
based on you.
you.
You
Everything
will hear a
was
woman
about
saying, Bram na bre, and sex.
you. No, some have actually helped men pay
Oh,
their fees.
and look at them, are not the same back. And they are normal, but back. The skills and the national. Sure.
suffer.
It's serious. It's serious. I'm sorry.
Suffer.
Mercy and atonement.
Let's laugh over this. We'll be right back. we are having great conversations here. I think that you hardly hear people say this. You hardly hear men of God say this. We see our pastors and we see our pastors' wives to be there holier than thou, and they can't even share with us some of the mistakes they have made to encourage us, to make us. I remember I asked someone a question, and I was like, "What does he think about sex before marriage?"
Okay.
And he was like, "Do you want me to tell you the truth?" He was like, he couldn't practice it,
Okay.
but he realized that it did him great harm
Yeah.
for not practicing
Yeah.
it. So he is usually advocating for it more. But you know our problem, according to him, because he wasn't able to practice it, we feel that you couldn't practice it, so why are you telling us to now practice it? And sometimes it gets so dicey, and sometimes we feel that, oh, I'm going to marry this person, so let me just start sleeping with the
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
And sometimes you meet someone, you don't want to have sex in the relationship, the person wants to have sex in the relationship. There are two things that should happen: either you leave or you compromise.
Yeah.
There are two things that would happen to either he marries you or he breaks your heart. And that's why you were talking about, after he breaks your heart, you now say, oh, I suffered with him and all of that.
Yeah.
LP, so now I want to
Yeah.
come back to you. So
Right.
how did you feel hearing some of the secrets, not just about the woman he's being with, but some of the things that you probably heard later? Did you think that some of them were later, and you also sharing your secrets with him? Was there a day that you were like, okay, today, dear, on our schedule, secret reveal, or it just came in conversation? Or sometimes as the conversation goes, you just create a scenario first. You get to see how he or she thinks before you know what to do.
Okay.
How the timing and the
Yeah.
season. How do you do that?
Yes. So for my husband, timing is very key. Trust me. Because sometimes you could be having a conversation. Once you drop a secret, Charlie, you spoilt the whole show.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Hey, you spoilt the whole show.
Yeah.
So the timing, what you are talking about, if you have context. So for him, he likes context secrets.
Hey.
So maybe if you are
him
conversing
well, well.
about something, then there's a secret around that area. You can talk about it. But once there's a diversion, you go and bring some secrets which is not in context. You spoilt the whole thing. So, like you said, the season, timing is so key. So, for me, telling him about secrets, I think when we started, he used to tell me that I don't like talking about certain things. And it's true. I didn't like talking about certain things because I really wanted to understand who he was. I've never had a relationship. In fact, all the relationships, I said I don't want it. It wasn't like someone broke my heart. So that broken heart thing,
You
I've
never
never
felt
felt it.
Wow.
If I don't like, I
I go
leave.
give you.
And
And by that time, your heart has left, so there's no broken heart.
yes, my heart had left, but I just wanted to have some time, finish up with school, know where I'm going to. I was that kind of prim and proper kind of person who really needed to know where my feet
Yeah.
was going to be. And so it was so key. And I remember telling him about my wash career and then leaving a whole like 5,000 Ghana cedi kind of work to go into a NAPCO kind of amount, which was 700 cedis as at that time. There he knew that he didn't say, okay, no, go and take the 5,000 Ghana cedi one. No, he just left it for me. So that was when I knew that, no, this man is actually someone that I can go with. And so secrets that are to be shared with him is not going to be harmful. But from the beginning, when we were saying, if you don't know the timing, that secret could be used against you. So the timing is very key. There are times that I know I've made mistakes in letting out certain secrets, which were used against me at a point in time.
Papa.
And yes, and then I was like, I'm coming in, my man can't.
Are you too late?
But like you said, are you too late? So the timing is
It's
so
very important,
key.
yeah.
There are times that maybe you may still want to hold back, even if you don't need to share. Charlie, make you no share at all. just keep.
Yeah.
That's only for sure.
Because some of the things could actually ruin it. But most of the times, let's try to let out most of those secrets during the dating period, so that however the person would consume your secrets, we leave it there. But when you are married and now you talk about it, it could
Especially
break.
with situations whereby the man would have a child somewhere.
Yes.
At what point do you actually share those kind of secrets? When you have a child somewhere, or you've been married before, or something. I don't know whether we don't also do our homework well. You're getting married to somebody. It can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
justifying
Yeah.
anything. Because people can hide.
Yeah.
Assuming someone is in Accra or Kumasi, the person relocates to town, the person is alone. The person would act like he's single. And the family will never also tell you that, this is my brother or this is my son had a child before. How do you react when you find out that your spouse has a child without telling you before? You're almost getting, let's say 1 month you're married, you find out that your spouse has this kind of.
1 month. Okay.
What do you do? No, I'm asking you. Yes.
That's serious.
Yeah.
1 month to
Yes.
marry.
Yes. But you did sir 1 month before that you were a
I
pastor.
didn't do it. Oh.
1 month before she now found out that you were a pastor. So if
Oh.
1 month you had found out that she was also maybe the CEO of some big company, or
praise
that
the
was, yes,
Lord.
praise the Lord.
That's a lot.
Okay, if you had found out 1 month to the
I
wedding,
was also.
she was having a child, or she's been married before and she didn't tell you, how would you have dealt
Oh,
with it?
those things, they're media.
You leave the marriage.
Oh, no. No.
How would you have
No.
handled
Me,
it?
I look at your perspective. Oh, it's very important. For me, it shouldn't be the case, generally.
Okay.
Me.
It shouldn't be
person.
a case where you have to leave the marriage.
No, I look at the lady's prospects. I look at where you're going. You know, before I got married to her, she had the first degree. And I told her, I can't marry an illiterate. So the opportunity that has come for her to do a master's was
Where
also
you
on. And I'm saying, oh, then she'll go and marry the man she wants.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. You have to go to school.
I tapped that one from you.
School
A
yourself.
man who encouraged you to go
Yeah.
and do your master's.
And up till now, even PhD, I don't have ears in this my
Wow.
life.
That
Yeah,
one there I
so-
tapped from you.
And now, if you don't do PhD and I fetch my own, how will I call you?
Your wife. You want to call her doctor, so 2 doctors in there.
So the kids will grow up and daddy is a doctor, mommy is not. Then the lady who will inspire her.
That's true.
That's me. Oh.
That's you.
I'm not saying that's what it's supposed to be. This is me. And that is the whole thing.
And I think most husbands should be encouraged to inspire their wives to dream better.
Oh, yeah.
She shouldn't just be, maybe she's an SS leaver and you are having PhD, even diploma crash she doesn't have. And it's good.
Can you imagine a bank job is put in front of her and she says, I'm sorry, I don't want. ADBO, that time, money day.
But I
She said she wants to
respect
do
the
Zoom
fact
live.
that
Sanitation, Zoom live. Also, first wife says Zoom live.
so she's cleaning spiritually and cleaning physically.
Yehovah.
So
Spiritual
that's
down.
But that's why she had an LP so that she can be prayer alongside.
Exactly.
No, but I like the fact that you supported her.
Oh, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
touch that.
Yeah.
No, I don't do
It's,
that.
it's good.
It's a no-go area for me.
Wow.
The woman knows what she wants. She had her own aspiration for meeting you. So who are you to tell her
I
what to
think
do?
marriage is a partnership.
mean,
It shouldn't be say, oh, don't do this, don't do
Oh
that.
no, what? This is her career.
I'll come for
You,
laying
you,
on
you,
her
you didn't
hands.
you didn't mold her in her
That's
career.
true.
Yeah.
And so I mean, you let her be. The only thing I'd help her with is to kind of mold her career into mine, to let it fit. That's all.
Yeah. Even talking about that, I think there are times that I have all these kind of key informer interviews, and when he actually transcribes for me.
Wow.
So when he's listening to the recording, then he'll be like, "Well, they're on your professional cry," and then I'm like a bit, like it just makes me get better. Like he's always an inspiration. Trust me, you can never be at a standard with my husband. You always need to grow. So as for that one, I really wish that every woman will get this kind of man,
I'll
to
come
be
for laying
frank.
on
My
hands.
head.
To be
Hey,
frank.
1 point. How many points are you getting
Charlie,
today?
I beg, give me
Boza.
listening.
What your mommy
Before.
boza? What your
Charlie.
mommy boza? Boza.
I need support. My head is swollen.
Hey!
Yeah, because it feels good. It actually
have
does.
that support.
It actually does feel good. I remember when he married me, I was working with SNV, and then he looked at me one day. He said, "Listen, I give you 5 years. I'll give you UNICEF."
Wow.
And that was how it was.
Professor.
You know, and
Professor.
before you get to the UNICEF, he's telling you, is it this one that you want to get to UNICEF? Increase capacity here.
That's right.
Increase capacity there. And so if at a point I get consultancies with UNICEF, then I would just adjudge it to him inspiring
consult
me.
together.
We do consultation together. My wash thing, I ask him. Even recently, someone said I should come and do a market research teaching. I'm asking him in the car, and he's talking and I'm writing. So it's just that kind of partnership. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It's a partnership, but still you need to know there's a head. Let's put it, yes, we put it in our mind in that way.
And then they like they want
You
to
know the head one.
That one
I
I'll fight you.
remember the
Yes.
Women
That one I'll
Arise
fight you. Sure.
conference,
Uh-huh.
the question that came in, I was going over and over. He and Adam, they were not listening. All that they wanted to hear is that, oh, when your husband says whatever,
I'm sorry.
just say you are
Sorry.
sorry.
That's it. That's all.
Very important.
The
Sorry
sorry. Yes.
first.
Yes. Don't say me
head,
at that
their
thing.
head.
It's only the
It will
sorry.
kill the matter.
Yes.
So say sorry.
Not that she won't say
No
sorry.
long talk.
No long talk.
No.
She just say sorry.
It will escalate issues. It will
But
degenerate.
you put you can say sorry.
Huh?
Men too can
Oh, you can say sorry. Oh.
but not immediately.
Oh, immediately.
You.
When it's getting late like this, you must say sorry.
So you say sorry with the purpose.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right.
Something in
Something
Yes.
is behind.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you must,
That's
you
why
must
they,
be motivated.
that's why they say that the sun shouldn't go down on your anger. Now I understand that.
Yes.
Oh, who will suffer?
Yeah. Sometimes
The
they
sun
don't.
goes down,
Yeah.
who will suffer?
Sometimes they don't say the sorry like straight away, but whatever they will do, you know that they are sorry.
Please, we need to wrap up. My brother says, we have about 3 minutes to wrap up. Give me your final words. LP, let me start with you.
Okay, so secrets. So like we said, just to hammer on it, know the kind of person that you are going out with or in marriage, know the timing, the season, and make sure that as you are saying it, you are not saying it too raw, but you're adding a little of flowers here, more at the time, so that it makes it easy to swallow. It's very key. So that should be our approach in letting out secrets. Yeah.
I like your son.
So she would say anything. Your wife have said it all. Okay. Thank you so much for coming. I've really had a great time today, having to hear from different perspectives and then share your personal experiences with us, because we hardly hear some of these things that are like practical stories for us. I have been speaking with Reverend O.B. Bonnet and LP Bessie Ewenam Odamebuafo. They are all pastors and they're a couple. They've been sharing with us how we can share secrets and how they took their time to share certain secrets before they got married, and how it helped them all together. We all need to be alert and know that everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses. Don't think of going to marry somebody who is all perfect, who is all glory. Everybody has their own strengths. Everybody have their own secrets. You need to adapt. You need to compromise. My hair and makeup is by Indel's Beauty Salon here in Tamale. I'll be back with thoughts. Hello and welcome to Thoughts from Martha Inspires. Today I want to talk to you about being patient. We fall in love, we like people, and we are rushing to tell them everything about ourselves. Yes, for the positives or the things that will excite them, fine. You don't rush to tell people the negatives about yourself. There was a day I was giving someone an example. She has 2 kids, and I was telling her that you don't meet a guy on the same day, on the first day. You are telling the guy that you have 2 kids and all of that. It will easily turn him off, because he will be like, oh, I don't want to get married to a woman who have 2 kids and all of that. If you were good, maybe you would have been married by now. But if you give it time, and he's able to get to know you, understand your personality, get to know you better, even if you have 10 children, he will still stay with you, because he has come to understand your personality, and probably would even get to know the full story behind you having two kids. Probably the father of the kids has passed on, or something happened and genuinely the person had to go away, or it could even be because of genotype issues. When you rush to give these kind of details to a partner or someone you just met, you are taking out the juice of the relationship out. You need to relax. We are in love. The butterflies are over us. We want to talk to them every day, want to see them all the time. But those butterflies can die with the wrong secret shared at the wrong time. Let's plan ourselves and strategize ourselves to be at the perspective of wanting to do more, wanting to do better, wanting to do best for our partners, but with the right information at the right time. Today, all I'm asking of you, all I'm appealing to you watching me is that be careful the kind of information you give, even to your friends, because by the time you realize, your friend will go and tell your partner something you haven't told them yet. So the secret in relationship is not just for romantic relationships, but secret to your friends that you might not even trust. Before, when you fall apart as friends, your issues are all over. Issues are on social media. Issues are everywhere. You need to be careful. We need to be careful because we need each other to survive. Thank you for watching this episode. I am Martha Inspire. See you next week.